Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Here tonight, the Red Light Scrambler Series heads into round 3 of the playoffs right here at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and it's been one heck of a season so far, pretty much dominated by a driver by the 88 of Sean Butler, and he's on top of the speed charts here tonight, but anything can go when it's round 3. We're going to cut the field in half after the third round, so this week here at Homestead, and then after an off week, we head over to Bristol, or anything can happen at Bristol. We know that. But once again, here on a Monday night, Roger Muth here in the booth, right alongside me, my trusty co-host Jared Riker. Jared, it looks like a little cooler track temps here in Miami than a lot of these guys have been practicing all week long.
Yeah, you said it, Roger. Definitely a lot cooler track temperatures here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Should make for a great night of racing.
Yeah, great night of racing. Let's take a quick look here and see if we can tune in to the man. Right there he is. The 88 is Sean Butler. He is your championship points leader. As we follow Sean around here, let's talk about the top 8 drivers here in your championship hunt that are left to rock and roll. Sean Butler comes into the night. He does have the lead in the championship. 16 points back. You're going to find the driver of the 01. That's Richard Murdoch. Behind them is going to be James Skelton, who sits 19 points back. They're from Sean Butler coming into the night. Then it's Tim Blum, who's 20 points out of the lead. Brandon Minto comes in 22 points back, sitting in the 5th spot. Max Terriol is 6th, 23 points back. Josh Buckley, Patrick Orr, both those two drivers sitting 7th and 8th. They have a lot of ground to make up here in the next 2 rounds if they want to advance their chances. They're probably they are the farthest back, with 27 points back for Buckley, and Orr is 31 points out. So it's gonna be a little strategy play for a couple of those drivers towards the cut line. It's been a good season for all 8 of those drivers, but you come here to a racy track like Miami Homestead here, and anything could really happen. You got a bottom lane groove here, a middle lane groove, and some of them might even venture up and maybe run that Kyle Larson line. Well, let's check out the running order right now as we follow the triple nines here of Jeff Hollingsworth around the track. There is your top 20 drivers here. 20 drivers entered into tonight's lobby here to start round 3 of the playoffs, and Sean Butler has the quick time. Jeff Hollingsworth, like we just said, is in 2nd. Tim Blum sits there in the number 10 truck this weekend in 3rd. James Skelton is 4th on the speed charts. Ryan O'Danny is 5th. Max Terriol is 6th. Let's take a ride here. There's the 88 of Sean Butler. Let's go on board here, cockpit style, and ride around Homestead. And there you went for a lap around Miami with Sean Butler as he pulls the truck off the track. He's going to take her back to pit road and see if he can possibly get some more speed into that truck. Well, Jared, as we have 1 minute and a little over 20 seconds here, who are you looking at tonight? You're looking at the speed charts right now. 20 drivers have turned a lap here in the lobby. Who are you looking forward to watching here tonight?
Well, that 999 of Jeff Hollingsworth, he could play spoiler tonight. He's been putting in some good lap times consistently here in practice. He could take a potential win from one of these chase contenders here.
Yeah, Jeff right now not in the chase. You realize that he has a triple number, starting with number 9. That means he is a rookie here to the Red Light Scrambler series. So he actually right now here at Homestead is your highest slotted rookie. But looking a little bit into the field here, looking at the number 98. He is 7th on the board. Ryan Oldani. He is one of the drivers who were eliminated out of the chase early on. He's not in contention for a championship anymore, but right now he has the 7th quickest time. We've seen Ryan put together some good runs here in the Scrambler series, and we've seen Ryan sometimes have a little bit of bad luck. I mean, it's kind of a it happens no matter where you're at. You're going to have some bad luck. You're going to have some good races. What he's looking for tonight, though, here in Miami is a good run. So it looks like we're just going to head off here in 1 second here. See practice times expiring. So Sean Butler will have the quickest time here in our practice session with Jeff Hollingsworth 2nd and Max Terrill 3rd. Question being, will they be able to repeat what they just did once we head over here into qualifying? A 10-minute qualifying session, 20 drivers. I'm going to take to the track here. First one onto the track, though, going to be the 972. That's right, 972. That stands for David Camara, and he is a rookie with that 9 number. David Camara, watched David here on a couple occasions here at Miami, and he's actually pretty fast around this track, so I'm going to have to see where he comes in on the speed charts. So David Camara going to come off turn 4. He'll go on the clock right now. So David Camara will be the first one to attempt to put in a qualifying time. Joshua Buckley out here. Running a little bit of a new paint scheme, I believe, this weekend on that Deuce. I believe he has the Barbecue Brothers on the side of that truck this weekend.
Yeah, Buckley, one of those guys that are near the cut line for the chase, so he's definitely going to want to look to put in a good qualifying time here and have a good race tonight.
So as he comes off turn number 4, David Camara just put in his lap time. The question going to be here, though, where is Buckley going to come in? Buckley's going to go 2nd on the board. We'll pull that up over there on the left-hand side there. You'll be able to find your favorite driver and where they're slotted here in the qualifying session. Right now, David Camara has the quick time with a 31.624. Buckley is 2nd with a 31.8. There's quite a bit of a gap there between those two drivers. Let's check on another one of the drivers out there. We talked about him for a moment. Ryan Oldani. He's not quite on the clock just yet. He's on his get-up-to-go lap. But talk about heartbreaker. This man right here, the number 4, Kyle Souza. Last week came into the event in the chase. A couple laps into it, though, wrapped up in a wreck, and that pretty much just sealed the deal on his championship hunt. So let's see where Kyle Souza is able to go. Looks like Kyle Souza, maybe he got a piece of the wall. No, he didn't. He goes 4th quickest right there with a 31.932. And actually, he gets bumped real quick because Tony Strano comes by in the 3 truck. He's got American Ethanol on the side of that one. And, well, he goes P number 5 for the time being. Last week, missing in action right there, the 962 of Ethan Troutman. He is back this week, and now he's looking for vengeance. Got knocked out of the chase, but his season isn't quite over yet. There's a lot on the line. Maybe a little bit of pride and revenge.
And we got the 88 of Sean Butler coming in the 3. Running that middle line. Going to see how it works out. Hopefully can put in a good lap.
Yeah, new colors out here tonight for the 88. I believe he had some deflated tires or something on his other car. Couldn't bring it out of the hauler. He goes P2, though, on speed charts. How about James Skelton, though? He comes out here. He needs to have a good run, and he puts her up on top of the speed charts right now with a 19.693. So that was one heck of a lap by him. Still waiting for Jeff Hollingsworth, who had a really fast time in practice, to come out here on track. Tim Blum just comes through the line there. He goes 8th quickest. He was able to pick it up on his 2nd lap. Brandon Minto making his way out on, or is out on the track. He just puts in a lap time there. Looks like Minto's going to go 5th on the board for the time being. He goes with a 31.560. So that's a good time there for the driver of the number 20 in the chase. Has a good starting spot.
The 01 of Murdoch putting it 10th on the board with a 31.717. And he's going to call it quits after that lap.
So out on track then also here, one of the other guys who are in the rookie class. That's going to be the 919 here, Mark Vaughn. He comes across the line there to put in his first qualifying lap in the books, and he goes 17th on the board. Has a little bit to pick up as he goes with a 31.892. Patrick Orr also out there on track in the 81 Snickers machine. He goes 9th quickest on the board. Only one other driver out there that's just starting to roll out there on track. That's the 998 machine of Ron Holyfield. Jesse Baker also just starting to roll off, so that'll leave Jeff Hollingsworth and Eric Johnson yet sitting on pit road. So now officially Ron Holyfield is on the clock. And how about Jeff Hollingsworth? You know what? Let's take a lap around here in qualifying with driver of the 999s. Wow, looks like Jeff's not ready to go. He's going to back her down. He's going to head back to pit road. Jesse Baker, though, out here, he is on the clock. He's looking for a little bit better showing here tonight from Homestead.
Meanwhile, Ron Holyfield putting an 8th on the charts with a 31.613. See if he can better that in his second lap.
Yeah, got Chevy Performance on the side of that Silverado, and right now he's got it tuned up to a top 10 starting spot right in front of David Camara. As he works himself here off turn number 4, let's see where the 998 here of Holyfield's going to come across the line. A little bit slower on his last lap. His best lap of a 31.614. So that's still one heck of a lap there by Ron Holyfield. That'll lock him into the top 10 here in qualifying. Jeff Hollingsworth now finally out there and up to the full song and dance. He's got plenty of time to put in a qualifying lap. Another driver just entering the track on his qualifying time, going to be the 33 of Eric Johnson. Jesse Baker comes across the line in the 909 machine. He goes 18th on the board. Hollingsworth with a quick time. He goes up the 5th quickest on the board, and that's going to be a 31.541. So Hollingsworth putting in a good time. Where is the 33 here of Eric Johnson going to slot himself in? He's up the track a little bit, running the middle groove. There's a lot of grip out there tonight here in Miami. It's a nice, cool night. Working his way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. And now he officially has one lap in the book. He goes up the 6th quickest with a 31.54, and he's going to shut her down real quick, and he'll lock him up, and that'll be all for Eric Johnson. So 21 drivers actually sneaking in here to have a qualifying attempt, and right there they are, the top 20 on the left-hand side. As we got just a little time here left in qualifying, we're going to step away. We're going to get our national anthem played, and we'll be back to bring you everybody starting the live grid right here with the Red Light Scrambler series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
And welcome back, race fans. Qualifying just wrapped up here from Homestead, Miami, and we're about to line them up here tonight. You got quite a few guys ready to take to the grid, and there you see it. They're not going to waste any time. A lot of these drivers coming straight into her, so let's start rolling here through our qualifying grid. Starting here tonight, row 1 here for round 3 of your playoffs. 2 chase drivers side by side. You got James Skelton, who's right there, comes in 3rd in the points, but going to roll off first here tonight. Sean Butler is going to start there in your 2nd starting spot. 3rd going to go to Ryan O'Danny in the 98 machine. Max Terriot in this 42 hot rod, going to roll off in the 4th spot. Jeff Hollingsworth having his best qualifying starting spot of the season. He's going to roll off right there in your 5th spot. 6th going to go to the 33 of Eric Johnson. The number 20 of Brandon Minto also in the chase, but he's slotted in the 5th position in the point standings. He's going to start 7th here tonight. Good starting spot for him. How about Joe Strano, the 943 Joe Strano, and got an 8th place starting spot here tonight. 9th going to go to Robert Dudley there in the 901 machine, and how about Ron Holyfield starting in your 10th. A lot of rookies in the top 10 here tonight. David Camara just missing out on a top 10 starting spot. He's going to roll off there in the Clocks by Christopher machine in your 11th spot. Patrick Orr, one of the chase contenders that are back a little bit mid-pack of the field here tonight. 81 of Patrick Orr, going to roll off 12th. 13th starting spot, going to be the number 10 here of Tim Blum. Another chase driver right alongside him, the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Look for both those drivers to come through the field in a long run. Ethan Troutman showing up here tonight after being knocked out of the playoffs. He's going to roll off in the 15th spot. Tony Strano going to have the number 3 in your 16th spot. Kyle Souza, after being knocked out of last week in the chase, he will start 17th. Joshua Buckley, the farthest back chase contender, he's going to start here and roll from the 18th spot. 19th going to be Christopher Rothrock. 20th is going to be Jesse Baker. And rounding out the 21-car field here for the Red Light Scrambler Series, going to be Mark Vaughn. That's your 21 drivers that are going to take to the field here tonight from the little 1.48-mile track. Cool temperatures here for tonight. Let's take a quick look, if we can, here at the track facts. It's a 4-turn, 1.48-mile track. 90 laps going to be called for here tonight at 133 miles. It is 82 degrees on the track, 78 degrees their temperature here tonight from Homestead. And it looks like we're about to let them loose here, waiting for that iRacing pace car to duck down. And there it is, a slow start, but we are all green flag racing, and it looks like everybody's going to get away here pretty clean. It's going to be James Skelton side by side down here into turn number 1 for the first time tonight. And it looks like he's going to have the momentum to the inside. There's a lot of grip down there right now. Out of turn number 2, taking the lead all by himself, going to be James Skelton. Then it's the battle right behind them. Right now, it's Sean Butler, but Ryan O'Danny coming to the inside there, and those flames are making the truck ride through the corner. Sean Butler might be, there it is, he does. He has the momentum off the top side, but the lead lap number 1, going to be James Skelton. Right now, Ryan O'Danny, though, still side by side with Max Terriot. Out of turn number 2, though, for the time being. It looks like Terriot's going to have the momentum to the outside, but Ryan O'Danny has the spot. Down into 3, that's what it is. Ryan O'Danny going to hold on to the position for the time being. He's going to slide up just a little bit in front of Max. That's going to open the door there. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth, as they're actually like about just 4 wide back here, battling for the 10th position. That's Ron Holyfield, Robert Dudley, David Camara, Tim Blum, all came off that corner there, and it looked like we were going to have one heck of a show.
Tim Blum, one of your chase contenders, trying to work his way through the field as they come down the backstretch.
Down the backstretch they go, and right there into turn 3, still side by side back here. It's Ron Holyfield and Robert Dudley. Right now, Dudley has the 9th position. Out front, though, also being hunted, kind of being stalked right now. Sean Butler just sucked up right underneath the back bumper here on James Skelton, and they're bringing around Ryan O'Danny also in tow on that one. Out back here, though, for that 10th position, Dudley still has the 9th spot. Here comes Tim Blum to the inside on Holyfield. He's going to dive it into turn 3. He's going to look to the inside of the Dudley Mobile. The 901 there. And it looks like that inside lane is starting to really prevail here in the early going.
Yeah, I don't know. That middle lane seems to be working good, but when it comes to passing, that inside lane is where you want to be.
Yeah, Camara right now is the lowest driver down there on the track. Actually, it looks like Dudley into the outside wall there coming out of turn number 2. That's going to put a little damage on the right-hand side there of the 901 Toyota machine. And, it's only a 1.5 mile track as they go 3 wide because here comes Patrick Orr, and then I believe that is Ethan Troutman down to the inside, but Robert Dudley going to now go back to the bottom as he had the momentum off the top side. It's only a 1.4 mile track here, but it's some long straightaways here from Miami, and it seems like you're next to never out of the gas in these trucks. Out front, still the same song and dance. It's still Skelton, Butler, Ryan Oldani, Max Terriot, Jeff Hollingsworth, Eric Johnson, Brandon Minto, Joe Strano, Tim Blum, and David Camara rounds out your top 10. And those drivers are all single file. Then it's a little bit more racy back here behind Robert Dudley, who's in the 12th position still. He's still hanging on to it. Patrick Orr is just kind of biding his time. Looking at the standings, though, Kyle Souza side by side here with that's Christopher Rothrock in the 84.
And it looks like Christopher Rothrock will try to get to the inside of Sosa to go in 3, and he's going to try and go for Buckley. Oh, slides up the track a little bit, coming into 4.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle Souza slid up the track just a little bit there along with the 84 Rothrock. Right now, Souza has the position. And check out right ahead of Kyle Souza there. It's going to be the number 2. That's Josh Buckley. He's in the chase, and he needs to be closer towards the front. Slow and steady here in the early going, working lap number 8. James Skelton still leading the way. We have not had a lead change here tonight. Coming off turn number 4 to lead his 8th lap of the event. That's going to be James Skelton leading the way. Look at James Skelton kind of drift up coming on the exit there of turn 2. Sean Butler looked pretty steady on the wheel. Let's go on board here with Sean Butler as he battles behind James Skelton. There you can hear Butler in the throttle coming out there of turn number 4, right sucking up to the back bumper on James Skelton. He actually lifts before they get into the corner so he can set the front end. You see how he's down about a half lane lower than what James Skelton is, so he can get some air to the front nose of that truck to hook up the front tires as he comes off the corner, and right back behind him he goes down the backstretch. There it is. It looks like the 88 of Butler going to try and possibly make a move this time down the straightaway. Or, well, he sucks right back up behind James Skelton. Maybe a little bit of strategy play there, but look at the battle back here. David Camara here and Joe Strano. Strano to the outside trying to make his way around David Camara, but the inside lane still looks pretty racy if you got tires left on the truck.
That's right, the inside lane. Speaking of the inside lane, it looks like Patrick Orr is trying to make the move on the 901 of Robert Dudley as they dive down into turn 3. And they're still side by side coming into 4. And looks like Dudley will get the outside momentum as they come down to the start-finish line.
Yeah, this track really wide here in Miami, and you're able to utilize that high lane like we were talking about, the Kyle Larson lane. You can run down there in the middle. You can run straight to the bottom like you see the 81 there of Patrick Orr, who's just about a truck length off the actual bottom groove of the track, and they're still going to be side by side down the backstretch. It's just a dead heat back here for the, it looks like that's the 11th and 12th position. Right behind them, though, you got Richard Murdoch. He wants to go to the front there in that Tabasco 01, and they're going to go 3 wide just about because Ethan Troutman wanted to go to the inside there on Patrick Orr off turn 4, but they're going to go 2 by 2.
And the man behind this pack, the number 2 of Buckley, looking for a lane to get some running room. He's looking to get to the front.
Yeah, it looks like Patrick Orr is going to take the position from Robert Dudley for the time being. Here comes Ethan Troutman now to the inside. A little bit of smoke ahead of everybody here. Might have had just a little bit of a blinker just out in front of these guys. So 2 of your chase contenders back here, buried at 15th position on back.
Meanwhile, back up front, we have a change for the lead. Sean Butler gets underneath the 86 of Skelton as they come down the backstretch.
Yeah, that's just not the only move out there that just happened out on track, because here comes Max Terriold as Sean Butler went to the inside. I think it checked up Ryan O'Danny. He wasn't quite ready for that. Max Terriold came to the outside. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth, and just behind them, there is the 6th driver of this pack, and that's Eric Johnson. Ryan O'Danny going to get passed up that lap. Here comes Max Terriold. He's going to jump to the inside here on James Skelton. Can he make the inside lane work for the 42 truck?
And as they come off of turn 2, it looks like Skelton's going to get the run. Here comes Hollingsworth on the outside.
Yeah, wasn't able to hook up the tires there on Max Terriold's truck. The 42 losing a little bit of ground that time off turn 2. Down the backstretch they went, and the 99 or the 999 of Hollingsworth really threw to the outside. He's going to have that momentum built up off turn 4. Is he going to clear the 42? He does by the start-finish line. Give Hollingsworth the 3rd position.
It looks like O'Danny is going to try and get by the 42 Theriault. No, he slides back in line as they come off of turn 2.
As all these drivers really start the battle hard inside the top 6. That guy who's just hanging out the back door there, that's going to be the number 10 here at Tim Blum. He's just really liking what he's seeing out in front of him, because these trucks really punch a big hole in the draft. In the air, allowing a big draft. Oh, we got a caution out there. Oh boy, this one, Jesse Baker in the 909 machine pointed the wrong direction. Joshua Buckley also with some rear end damage on that Barbecue Pit Boys Toyota. We're gonna have to throw it back here and see if we can actually figure out what went wrong. I think there's another truck involved in this. There we already see the number 2 of Buckley into the outside wall. And then Jesse Baker going around. I think there's a 3rd truck involved in this. Let's see if we're able to find it, as there is. It's going to be Christopher Rothrock in the 84. We're going to have to go back and maybe a little bit farther than what we did initially here and check it out. Rothrock and the 909 of Dudley were back here. This happened actually right there in front. You see the 2 of Joshua Buckley just got loose on the exit of turn 2, stuffed her into the outside wall. Nowhere for Jesse Baker to go. And then Christopher Rothrock, actually, he wound up going up and over, doing a barrel roll in the 84 machine. We'll throw her back once again here and go on board with Christopher Rothrock. There you see it all unfolding out in front of Christopher Rothrock. Rothrock goes to go down, and actually it just looks like the truck gets loose, gets sideways, and a hard contact into the inside wall. Up and over it went, and well, that's not what Christopher Rothrock had in mind here tonight, as you see the smoke bellowing out of the 84. As you see him down in pit road now. So strategy plays throughout, and it looks like going to be the first one off pit road, going to be Joe Strano. Whole gaggle of trucks coming out behind him. Then, actually, I believe Joe Strano may have actually missed his pit box, Jared. That might spell trouble for Joe Strano. Coming out second, though, is Sean Butler, James Skelton, Jeff Hollingsworth, Max Terriolt, Eric Johnson, Ryan O'Danny, Tim Blum, Brandon Minto, David Camara, Ron Holyfield, and Patrick Orr in your 11th position. Well, while we're under this caution flag, Jarrett, let's see if we can get a word in with the driver of the 84, Christopher Rothrock. Christopher, you got a copy. It's Roger and Jarrett here at your booth.
Hey, I got you guys.
Well, it doesn't look too good right now for the 84 machine. Tell us what happened out there on track. We watched it, but walk us through what you saw coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, Buckley got up into the wall there, and it looked like he was coming off, and quite honestly, I just kind of tried to get down out of the way and threw it a little bit too hard and just tried to catch it and ended up actually rolling her over on her lid. So
yeah, so it looks like quite a bit of damage on the 84 machine. How much time are you going to have to sit there in pit road, or are you going to have to load the 84 truck up on the hauler here tonight?
I got about 10 minutes repairs here, but we'll get back out, finish it up, and we're here to the end if we can be.
Well, there you heard it from Christopher Rothrock. Everything kind of unfolding in front of him, kind of threw the truck sideways just a little bit, unable to really gather it up. So the Paul Jr. Designs machine has a little bit of damage on it, but actually it looks like as we're talking to Christopher Rothrock, I believe we're going back green flag racing, and there it is. Sean Butler going to lead us back here because Joe Strano did decide to pit then to get 4 fresh tires on the truck. So as we're back to green flag racing here on lap number 20, Sean Butler not wasting any time to get to the lead around James Skelton this time, and here comes Jeff Hollingsworth to the inside too.
Sean Butler got an amazing jump on the field, but here comes the 999 of Hollingsworth as they go down into turn 3. He's looking for the lead as they come off of 4.
Looking for the lead for the first time here with the Red Light Scrambler Series. Doesn't quite have the momentum, so he's going to jump up in front of James Skelton there in second place. Right now, the Coast Guard driver of Jeff Hollingsworth going to settle for second for the time being. He'll suck in, though, behind the 88 of Sean Butler and try and get a good toe off the 88 down the backstretch. But side-by-side racing for the third spot. Here comes Eric Johnson. And side-by-side with him going to be James Skelton down into turn 3. Right behind them, Tim Blum is actually starting to make headway now. Kind of sat back there, maybe playing a little bit of possum in the early going. And now, here he comes towards the front.
As they dive down turn 2, Theriault gonna fall behind the 10 of Tim Blum with the 972 of Camara right hot on his tail.
Yeah, David Camara just hanging out right now back here in the 7th position. He started to work his way up into the top 10 as he started back in the 11th spot, so he's up inside the top 10 now, running in your 7th position and 4 fresh tires. But now look at Tim Blum as he's looking to the inside off turn number 4 here on James Skelton. Skelton kind of sliding backwards here after the pit stops.
And Skelton has his hands full of Tim Blum behind him and trying to work his way past the 33 of Johnson as they come off of turn 2 down the backstretch.
Yeah, Johnson has the position. James Skelton, though, wants it. Skelton going to look to the inside here on the 33. Down the backstretch into turn 3. They go side by side at each other's door. The 33 of Johnson going to run the middle lane. Skelton going to run the inner side. Inside. I want to say inside, but he's not all the way down there on the white line, so he's running the inner part of the corner, I guess you want to say, but they're side by side still at the line. Look at Tim Blum as he started to push Skelton that time down the front straightaway.
And as they work their way through corner number 2, Johnson still trying to hold tough on that high line as they are door to door as they come down the backstretch into 3.
Down into turn 3, James Skelton has the inside advantage for the time being on Johnson. But out front, your leaders are starting to check out at this point. They're about a half second actually already up on the battle for your 3rd spot.
Meanwhile, behind the leaders, Theriault looked to the outside, looked like he was going to go with Johnson. And now Skelton slides up in front of Johnson as they come off of 2. While Tim Blum looks down to the inside to pass both of them, come down the backstretch.
Good racing back here right around your 3rd spot on back. James Skelton has it. Here comes Tim Blum, though. As there you see Skelton slide up the track a little bit. How about the 33 there of Johnson almost into the outside wall that time out of turn number 4.
And as these guys race in that pack of 4, it's bringing the 972 of Kamara and the 98 of Old Danny. Bringing them right up behind them as they come down the backstretch.
Only driver down to the inside at this time, inside the top 10. It's going to be the number 10 of Blum. Is he still trying to work over Johnson? Can he get inside the top 5 here? He has the skill, but does he have the truck here in the early going? 26, or working lap 26 now here at Miami. Still side by side. They can't decide who's going to have the position, and there's more side by side right behind them. That's David Camara to the outside, and to the inside it's going to be Ryan O'Danny. He's trying to work his way back to the front after having a lackluster performance on pit road there by his pit crew. Eric Johnson, Tim Blum still side by side.
And Old Danny and Camara come off the turn side by side, and Camara will get him by about a truck length as they come down in turn 1.
Yeah, there was a hairy moment on the front stretch going down into turn 2 for Jeff Hollingsworth. The lap down car there of Joshua Buckley was running right in the middle of the track, and Hollingsworth didn't look like he knew where Buckley was going to go, and he swerved at the last second to the inside there on Buckley down into 1. Almost got that 999 truck all sorts of out of shape. But now looking back here at the 4th spot, it looks like Blum has a fender in front of Eric Johnson, but here comes that high line momentum. Right back side by side by the time we get down into turn number 1. Now Tim Blum going to have the position. He's going to set his sights onto the back bumper now of James Skelton. Now Eric Johnson and Max Terriot, they're going to battle it out to see who can stay inside the top 5. And as those guys, they settled it pretty quick. Max Terriot going to drive her in real hard down there in turn 3 and 4.
And it looks like the 86 of Skelton is going to go for going past the lap down car of Buckley.
Yeah, so now here comes Tim Blum. He's going to work around that lap car of Buckley also. So now your top 4 drivers will work around the lap traffic. Here comes Max Terriot. He's not going to wait and try and dance around the number 2. He's going to get right around and carry on his way as he slides up, coming out of turn number 4 in front of Buckley. Sean Butler still leading the way. Nobody is right now breathing down his neck. Butler's been out front now 18 laps, still 60 laps to go here from Homestead.
And it looks like the 33 of Johnson making his way past the 2 of Buckley, too. He wants to get back up in this lead pack and fight for this top 5.
Yeah, and that was your only driver that is side by side. Let's take you for a walk right now down through your top 10 drivers. Right now out front leading, coming across the line here to lead his 19th lap here tonight. That's going to be the 88 of Sean Butler. Running second is Jeff Hollingsworth, and he's right there on the back bumper, just about 2 car lengths back now as they come out of turn number 2. That's Jeff Hollingsworth. He's having one heck of a showing for himself and the Coast Guard that's on the front of that truck. James Skelton back here, chase driver, started first here tonight, led 16 laps, now finds himself running in your 3rd spot, still solidly inside the top 5. Tim Blum right behind him, started way out back, started mid-pack there in the 13 starting spot. Hasn't led anything here tonight, but he's your biggest mover so far as he finds himself 4th. Just behind him then is going to be the 42 of Max Terriot. He runs in your 5th spot right ahead of the 33 of Eric Johnson. Right behind Johnson, then going to be the clocks by Christopher Driver, the number 972 David Camara. He started back in 11th and now has got the 7th and kind of just sat there. Ryan O'Danny, he's been up to the 3rd position. That's where he started. And right now, running back in the 8th spot, losing a couple spots here after the yellow flag pit stop. Brandon Minto right now started 7th, running 9th. Chase driver right now finds himself where he needs to be, inside the top 10. And rounding out your top 10 drivers, another one of those chase drivers, the Snickers Machine, 81 driver here with Patrick Gore. He started back there in 12th, dropped all the way to 14th, made his way now to the 10th spot.
And it looks like the 999 of Hollingsworth is trying to get the lead from Butler as they come off of 4.
Yeah, now he's really reeled him in. He's only 1 truck length back from Sean Butler. Things are starting to heat up at the front. Not only is Jeff Hollingsworth coming to the dance, so is James Skelton, Tim Blum, Max Terriot, Eric Johnson. It's a party for the lead. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth. He had a run that time. Out of turn number 2, he's going to look to the inside here on 3 on the 88 of Butler. Can Hollingsworth put the 999 out in front here from Miami? He has it right now, but you saw the big wiggle.
And it looks like Butler will lead that lap with Hollingsworth still not giving up as they dive down into turn 1.
So Sean Butler taking back over the command here of the race. Jeff Hollingsworth, though, showing Sean Butler that, hey, I'm here tonight. Let's play. Let's party at the front of the field here. But as they did that, James Skelton started to close back up on the bumper some more. About 4 car lengths back now. 3 car lengths back off Jeff Hollingsworth back bumper.
And he is bringing some friends with him. Tim Blum is hot on his trail. And you got the 42 and the 33 coming along as well.
Yeah, all 6 drivers within 1 second of the leader. As right now it's a 4-car break or 4-truck breakaway down the backstretch. As Max Terriel had a big wiggle off turn number 2. Back here, though, side-by-side battle for the 10th position. That's Ron Holyfield as he's looking to the inside here on Patrick Orr. As they're almost 3 wide back here. Minto and Orr not giving an inch down in 3 and 4. They worked it out for the time being. Minto going to hold the position. Ron Holyfield, though, trying to come to spoil a little bit of the party as he got the inside momentum there on the 81 as they are real close to each other. Orr not going to allow Holyfield to slide up an inch as actually Orr slides that time off turn number 2.
And it looks like he's going to carry his momentum down the backstretch and still does not want to give up that 10th position to the 998.
Yeah, Orr really fighting for the position. But right now, it looks like Ron Holyfield has a little bit better of a truck down there on the bottom lane here on this long run. We're probably looking at, well, we're probably pretty close to pit stops here, Jarrett. I think any of these drivers are going to stretch it as far as they can.
Yeah, you know, we've seen the last few races come down to fuel mileage. I'm sure they're trying to stretch out as much as they can.
Yeah, you know who's not saving any fuel right now? That's Sean Butler, because look at that. There is the Coast Guard. Oh, Butler sideways, almost getting into the back. Then was Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth checked up, though. Sean Butler was able to gather the truck up. We're going to go 2 by 2 down into turn number 1 here. Hollingsworth to the inside. Butler going to run the middle lane. Here comes Tim Blum trying to push Hollingsworth to the lead. Sideways off turn number 2, going to go Jeff Hollingsworth. He held on to it, but Tim Blum had to check up himself. That means Sean Butler going to take back over the lead. Hollingsworth now going to go side by side with James Skelton down into the corner for the time being. Hollingsworth has the position. We're under yellow flag conditions. Kyle Souza, Patrick Orr involved, and I believe that's also Joe Strano. So under yellow flag conditions here on lap 41, we're going to have to throw it back here on our turn 3 racing replay and see what went wrong. We just watched in the 81 of Patrick Orr, who was up here battling with the 20 of Brandon Minto and Ron Holyfield. What went wrong for the 81? It looks like just went sideways coming out of turn number 2. He went to correct it into the grass. The 81 went as he was dead right into the middle of the track. Nowhere for Joe Strano, nowhere for Kyle Souza to go. And oh boy, there's smoke bellowing out of the number 4 of Kyle Souza's truck. We're going to have to go back just a little bit farther here. And maybe we can actually get an onboard picture here with Kyle Souza on board here. Or the camera view here of the 4 truck. Let's see it all unfold. There you already see the 81 of Orr as Souza actually got a little sideways too off turn 2. And look at the 81 come back up. Souza, you heard him, off the gas, on the brakes hard. Nowhere for the 4 of Kyle Souza to go. And looks like he still has life in the motor, but I believe that motor might be on its way out. So 3 trucks involved here as everybody's down pit road. So that one took out a little bit more than guys wanted. Patrick Orr, though, probably being the one driver that wished he could have that corner back right now. So everybody going to come off pit road. Sean Butler going to lead the way. Tim Blum, James Skelton, Jeff Hollingsworth, Eric Johnson, your top 5 drivers as those guys all make their way off pit road. Let's see if we can catch a word here with the 81 of Patrick Orr. Patrick, you got a copy? Roger and Jarrett here in your booth.
Yep, got you.
Well, it looks like a lot of damage on the Snickers machine. What went wrong coming out of turn 2?
Yeah, I just got a little over aggressive. I'm not sure if I clipped the apron or not, but the back end just kicked out from under me and thought I had it saved, but turned out overcorrected just a little bit too much, then sent me flying back up the track. So unfortunately, I think I took out Joe too with that. So I always feel bad when something of your doing and you take out another guy.
Yeah, you come into the night, though, in the chase standings. It looks like you are getting back out there on track. How much damage is actually done to the 81? Are you going to be able to compete and stay on the lead lap here?
Yeah, the front left hood is bent up, so the car's going to be a lot tighter, and my top end is taking a pretty big hit. So I'm just hoping for more cautions to get about 2.5 minutes of repair done.
Well, you're back out there on track turning laps. Right now you're ahead of one other chase driver of Joshua Buckley. So right now you're still not that bad off. So keep the truck pointed in the right direction here, and good luck the rest of the way.
Like it.
Well, driver of the 81, Patrick Orr, probably dug himself just a little bit of a hole right now. But Jared, it's still early.
It's still early, yes, but those two drivers were on the outside looking in, coming into this race to the cut line. Definitely not going to help them get above that cut line.
Yeah, because right now Patrick Orr, he's shown last driver on the lead lap, and well, he has quite a bit of damage on the Snickers machine, but like he said, he'll keep digging. So how are we going to restart? Right there's the top 5 at the top of your screen, and that man in the Hardee's machine right now is out front. Sean Butler, Tim Blum, James Skelton, Jeff Hollingsworth, Max Terriot in 5th. Then it's David Camara back here in your 6th spot, Ryan O'Dani, Ron Holyfield, Brandon Minto, Richard Murdoch makes his way back into the top 10 for the time being. Can he move the 01 machine closer toward the front here on this next run? So it looks like the lights on the pace car are off. We should go back green flag racing this time by. So for a big track like this, it seems pretty slick out there, Jarrett. I'm not sure if a lot of these drivers are going to be able to hang on to their trucks in the long run. It looks like track temp is still sitting right in the low 80s, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it may be this Florida, this East Coast humidity, or what's getting to them, but they're having a hard time on these long runs holding on to the truck.
Yeah, but it looks like we're going to go green flag racing right here. It's going to be Butler and Blum on your front row to bring us back to green flag racing. Pace cars down and away. There you hear it coming back up through the gearbox. And wasting no time, going to be Sean Butler. Tim Blum got a great start actually on the outside. As there you see one of the drivers down to the inside. That's Christopher Rothrock. Had a lot of damage, 21 laps down. He's just trying to get out of the way. We're going to go side by side at the front. Right now, though, Butler looks like he's going to pull ahead here off turn number 2. That'll put the battle for second. Skelton to the inside on Blum. Here comes Terriot. Nowhere to go with that big run for the 42. He'll have to settle behind the Skelton machine.
Yeah, Tim Blum had a really good restart, but no help on that outside, causing all 3 of those cars to get on. We are under caution again.
Looks like Tony Strano pointed the wrong direction down here in 3 and 4. Might be a single car spin here. We're going to have to throw it back and find out. As we watch the 3 here of Tony Strano, what went wrong for driver number 3? Went down there into the corner, down into turn 3. Oh, it looks like the rear end just stepping out on Tony Strano, and he goes around right in front of Joshua Buckley. I'm not sure if Buckley made any contact with Joe Strano there. If Buckley didn't make any contact, he'll get the lucky dog and put himself back on the lead lap. But let's throw it back here and go on board. What did Buckley see in front of him? Down into 3 we go. Right there in front of him going to be Tony Strano. There you see Strano. I don't think Joshua Buckley got any contact there with the 3 machines. So that could be some good fortune going in the way of Josh Buckley. So as we're back under caution, we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back with more action here. There you see it. There's the question that's going to be answered before we step away. Josh Buckley getting his lap back. He'll be the 17th driver on the lead lap now. So we're going to step away. We'll be back here to Miami to bring you more Red Light Scrambler action. Round 3 of the playoffs.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back here from Homestead, Miami. Almost ready to, or just over actually the halfway marker. I was going to say just getting ready to hit 40 laps to go, but when we get the green flag, it'll be 41 laps to go here tonight. So far, Sean Butler's been pretty strong, but he hasn't really been able to step out away from these drivers tonight. We're going to see on this restart, because it's going to be Sean Butler as the sun starts to peek out of the clouds here from Miami. It's Sean Butler, James Skelton, Tim Blum, Max Terriel, Jeff Hollingsworth, then it's Ryan O'Danny for the time being. Let's see how that all shakes up here. It's really sunny on the front stretch here from Miami as green flag is waving. We are back in action here as there's a wiggle for the moment there from James Skelton as he was coming up through the gears.
Yeah, that sun peeking out could wreak havoc on these trucks and their setups. As they come off of turn 2, it's Sean Butler followed by Tim Blum and Skelton with the 999 going inside of Skelton coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, for the time being, here comes actually Tim Blum. It looked for the moment like Tim Blum was going to sail her down there into turn number 3, and he had a bad angle actually, and everybody looks like followed Tim Blum as everybody up the track. Look at the sun really shining. They're really starting to push hard here because that looks like that is going to be David Camara right now. He was pushing on the back bumper as there was a bunch of smoke down there. 3 wide action side by side. I believe that's the Dudley machine that was just forced up the track at the back of the field here. Robert Dudley getting forced up the track as he was 3 wide and he was to the outside. Right now he's going to try and gather her back up. He's shown in your 15th spot, and there's actually quite a bit of damage now to the front nose of that Toyota.
Meanwhile, back up front, the 999 is still trying to hold on to that 3rd position with Skelton on the outside going down into 1.
Yeah, we've seen that inside lane work, but we haven't seen the inside lane work with this much sun beating down on the track. And actually the track temp now starting to rise. It's at 86 degrees out there, but Jeff Hollingsworth made it work for the time being. So it's Butler out front, Blum in 2nd, Hollingsworth there in 3rd. Ken Hollingsworth put together a good run. Talking about a good run, here comes Tim Blum to the inside here on Sean Butler. He had a little sideways, though, off turn number 4 at the line. It's still going to be Sean Butler. Can Tim Blum make his way around the 88 down here on this side of the track? A little bit of shade, but you see it's a pretty sunny now all the way around here at Miami, and there it is. Tim Blum looks like he got a fender right now as they come down the backstretch on the 88 of Butler down into turn number 3.
And Sean Butler does not want to give up that position as he falls in behind Tim Blum, and it looks like he's going to try and come back under him as they come off of 4.
Yeah, not enough momentum, though, built up in the 88 for the time being. So Sean Butler right now going to have to settle for P number 2. So a new leader here as we're eclipsing, what is that, about 37 laps now to go. New leader. Can Tim Blum hold off Sean Butler? I don't believe these drivers are going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel from this point, so we might still have pit stops maybe about halfway into the pit run here.
Yeah, we might be seeing some green flag pit stops to make things interesting. You know, Roger, with this sun peeking out, I wonder if that Kyle Larson lane will start to come into play.
Yeah, we haven't seen it really come into play. We've seen a lot of guys kind of venture up there on the older tires to get more momentum, but talking about momentum right now is Brandon Minto was kind of about running midway up the track there in turns 1 and 2. He had a good run, but nowhere for driver of the 20 to go because right in front of him, that's going to be Ron Holyfield, and there's Eric Johnson to the inside, so nowhere for a lot of those drivers to go. Right ahead of them it's going to be David Camara just kind of rocking. It seems like Camara's just kind of been stuck and glued to the 7th position.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to seem to find his way past or get past for that position, as the 33 of Johnson gets past the 998 of Holyfield as they come into 3. Holyfield looking to get that position back.
Yeah, Johnson going to roll the top lane. It looks like he was able to get back to the throttle a little bit sooner than Ron Holyfield, and they're going to start to really close in. Something might have happened to David Camara there, because now here comes Eric Johnson. He's going to try for a 2-for-1. No, he's not able to down into turn number 1. He'll follow David Camara down, but here comes Ryan O'Danny as he works to the inside here on Max Terriol. That would be the battle for the 5th position. Who's going to be able to get there as they thunder down the backstretch?
Old Danny has been working on Theriol for the last 2 or 3 laps, and it looks like he's finally going to be able to make the pass as they come out of 4.
Yeah, so Eric Johnson back there still battling with David Camara, though, and I mean, they're battling all over this track right now. It's kind of hard to keep up, and we're still kind of fixated right here on the Ryan O'Danny. Not Eric Johnson, that's Max Terriel. 2 black trucks, confused him while looking at the screen here. And there you see Eric Johnson get around David Camara, so that'll put Johnson to the 7th spot, Camara back to 8th. And for the time being, Max Terriel is going to hold off Ryan O'Danny, so that's going to start to fizzle out there. We haven't seen these guys on, battling with the sun out. Richard Murdoch, though, looking at the timing and scoring, way buried back to the back here. He's back in your 14th spot. I believe that's Tony Strano, after a self-spin, has worked his way into the 15th spot as Murdoch up the track, almost into the wall coming out of turn number 2.
That sun peeking out. This track's getting a little slick as Murdoch almost clips the wall. And it looks like he's going to have to give way to the 3 of Strano as they come off of 4.
Yeah, off of turn 4, though, we're not going to have the momentum to the high side, so he'll pull back around the 3 of Tony Strano. Not sure where Richard Murdoch got the damage, Jarrett, but if you take a peek there at the right rear of the 01 machine, I think there's a little damage on that truck.
Yeah, not sure where that happened, like you said, Roger, but definitely damage on that right rear.
That's putting a hamper on the 01's performance here tonight of Richard Murdoch. Let's take a quick peek here. He's the highest position that Murdoch has been. That was on the restart. We saw him up into the 10th position. Right now, buried back in the 14th spot. Taking the peek, Robert Dudley is right in front of the Murdoch machine, but just back a little bit. Joshua Buckley back on the lead lap, just not able to get the 2 truck to go anywhere with the damage that's on it. He sits in the 16th spot and still hanging on to the lead lap. Another one of your chase drivers buried in the back of the field here. That's going to be Patrick Orr, still on the lead lap, but 10.5 seconds right now, all by himself, pretty much just out there turning laps, trying to survive tonight. Is going to be Patrick Orr. Take a peek back out front, though, because it's still Tim Blum. Sean Butler, as you see cloud cover starting to roll back onto the speedway as the sun's playing peekaboo right now. There was Blum a little bit out of shape coming out of turn number 2. It's Blum, Butler, Hollingsworth, Skelton, and Terriel, your top 5.
And back here we have a battle for the 10th position with Minto Troutman and Mark Vaughn. Mark Vaughn trying to look to the inside of Troutman as they come off of turn 4.
Oh, as there's trouble ahead of them. Coming out of turn number 4, caution flag is flying. Looks like David Camara has gone around in the clocks by Christopher Machine. I don't see any real damage, maybe a little bit on the right front, but we didn't see it happen live, so we're going to have to throw it back here on our replay. Something gone awry here for David Camara. Had a good 7th place truck for the time being, but now we're going to see what happened to David Camara. Oh, it's just sideways, and actually he makes hard contact with that outside wall. It looks like the truck just stepped out on David Camara, and into the outside wall he went. We're rewind it, show it one more time here, as we'll go from just above here from the chopper and see what David Camara really, how far it stepped out on him. Look, you can see he's already sideways, and he just a little correction of the wheel, and around he went. Everybody, though, avoiding the spinning truck of David Camara. We know that's not what Camara wanted, but I bet a lot of these guys actually were just about ready to make their green flag pit stops, possibly for the last time of the event here tonight, as there you see them all coming down there in turn 3.
That's right, Cotton. It looks like the strategy's out the window. All these guys will come down pit road, get 4 fresh Goodyears, and top it off with Sunoco fuel.
Yes, it looks like everybody's going to deploy the strategy. I didn't see anybody staying out here because if you don't come down at this point, you're going to be trapped at the back of the field here. And you definitely are going to need this pit stop. It looks like we're going back green flag racing with about 23 laps to go. So we'll have to see who's going to deploy what strategy. Right now, though, James Skelton has the #1 pit stall. It looks like Tim Blum is already down and away. Here it comes, the 88 of Butler, who's going to win the battle off pit road. I believe it is going to be Sean Butler is actually going to win that battle as they're 3 wide, just a little bit farther back. That was Ethan Troutman, Mark Vaughn, and Robert Dudley battling 3 wide off pit road. But Butler's going to come off. He's going to have P1 off pit road as he had a great stop, only 14.3 seconds in his box compared to Tim Blum's team, who spent 14.9 seconds. So right there was the difference, just 0.6 in the pit stops. Let's see, though. Let's see if we can actually get a word in with the driver of the Clocks by Christopher machine. David Camara, you got a copy as Roger and Jarrett in the booth.
I do.
Well, we can hear it in your voice, David. You had a good run going for the Clocks by Christopher machine, and now it seems like you're sitting there on pit road. You're going to come back out. How much damage is done? And tell us just what went wrong off turn 4.
It's got about 2.5 minutes, which surprises me. I thought it'd be worse. I don't know. I came off the corner. I kind of took my eyes off of what I was doing there for a minute, and it just hooked right on me. I mean, the truck's on its edge. You really got to be on it. And just a little bit of lack of concentration there for just a split second, and she took off on me.
Yeah, she took off on you. We turned a lot of drivers before the race talking about how there was actually a lot of grip with the cloud cover. That we just saw the sun start to peek out probably for about the last 7 laps of that run. Did that affect the handling on the truck at all out there?
No, I'm talking to the guys. You know, it has grip until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it's not much warning when it goes away. So, you know, it's one of those setups that, yeah, it feels great, and then it doesn't. And if you're not right on it, you know, with the concentration, when it doesn't, then the result is what happened to me.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate circumstances for yourself and the Clock by Christopher 972 machine as you're coming back down pit road. Well, we'll let you get back to it to talk with your pit crew here, but good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
So there you heard it, Jarrett. Trucks are just on edge.
Yeah, and with about 20 or so laps to go, I don't think we've seen them. I think we're about to see them pushed even harder to the edge.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of aggressive driving there on that last restart, and we're going to re-rack them, restack them here, and it's going to be a shootout to the end. We're going to go back green flag racing because as you do see, the lights on the pace car are off. So on lap 23 laps to go here in this one, it's going to be Sean Butler, Tim Blum, and Jeff Hollingsworth, James Skelton, Max Terriot, Brandon Minto, Ryan O'Danny, Ethan Troutman, Ron Holyfield, Robert Dudley. Those are your top 10 drivers for the time being. While we have a second here, we do like to thank all of our fans tuning in out here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the Red Light Scrambler Series. Put on one heck of a show here in round number 3 of the playoffs. So if you like what you see out there by the Red Light Scrambler Series, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and go ahead, hit the little bell down there, the subscribe button. Know anytime we go live to bring you more Red Light Scrambler action. How about more action you called for, you asked for? Green flag waving here out of turn number 4. Look at everybody starting to bob and weave. Troutman making moves towards mid-pack already.
And it looks like the 999 is pushing Butler to the front. As they come off of 2, Blum slides in behind him.
For the time being, Sean Butler has the spot, but he's going to leave the door open for a moment. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth right to the back bumper, almost making contact down there in turn 3 with your leaders. Right now, Sean Butler leads the way. Jeff Hollingsworth there in second. Tim Blum has third. Contact on the straightaway there between Skelton and Max Terriol. Those two drivers making a little contact down there about midway down the straightaway at the flag stand for the time being, though it's going to be Skelton. Max Terriol now holding on to the inside lane, but here comes Ryan O'Danny. He's being pushed by, wow, who is that? That is the Troutman machine coming onto the high side there, running 7th.
And below him is the 20 of Minto as he tries to get past the 98 of Old Danny as they come off a 4.
Yeah, big wiggle there by Ryan O'Danny. Almost found the outside wall coming out of turn number 4. He was able to hang on to the Hellfire Detroit machine, and right now he's shown still in your 6th spot. Now, though, Troutman's on the outside of Minto, and he can't get back down to the bottom. That inside lane, when it's 4 fresh tires, seems like it is going to be the way to be. Oh, somebody into the outside wall. The 33, I believe, of Eric Johnson into the outside wall. And I think Tony Strano also making contact with Eric Johnson. Johnson was running up inside. I think it was right around the 7th, 6th position. Now, all the way back outside the top 10, peaking right around the 13th spot. Jeff Hollingsworth, though, going to the inside down here in turn 1 on the 88 is Sean Butler. Both of them going to slide high. It's going to open the door. 3 wide racing here off turn number 2. To the inside, here comes the number 10 of Tim Blum. The Hollingsworth in the middle. Blum going to back off before we get to turn 3. He's going to slot back into your 3rd spot.
As we come in through 3 and 4, Butler slides high coming out of 4. The 999 of Hollingsworth is going to lead a lap coming down the front stretch.
First lap being led here by Jeff Hollingsworth, new leader here with under 20 to go. It was the first time Sean Butler has really been pressured here tonight in Miami, and well, the heat kind of got to him there as he slid high, and now Jeff Hollingsworth trying to set sail. Now Tim Blum all over the back bumper. He knows it's now or never time to pounce on the back bumper of the 88 of Butler. I think their Butler machine might have a little bit of damage to the left front. I'm not sure where he got that. Maybe a little bit of a door check by somebody may have gave him the damage. But right now, Jeff Hollingsworth actually starting to open up a little bit of a gap, about 3 truck lengths right now over Sean Butler as they head into 1.
And as they come off of turn 2, Tim Blum still hounding the back of that 88 Hardee's machine. And Skelton trying to make his way up to the back of Tim Blum.
Yeah, that time down the backstretch, maybe making up about 1 truck length with Sean Butler. But it looks like Hollingsworth is actually getting through the corner just a little bit better right now than Sean Butler. But Butler, with that help from the number 10 of Tim Blum, is actually, here comes Blum. It was help for the time being. Now Blum throws her to the inside in turn 1. They're going door to door in between 1 and 2 here. What's it going to look like off turn number 2 for the time being? Blum has the spot by about a half a truck, but the momentum to the outside going to carry the 88 to Sean Butler side by side back into 3.
And it looks like Blum will clear the 88 as here comes the 86 of Skelton right back up to the back bumper of the 88.
Yeah, so now it looks like it's Jeff Hollingsworth, all 4. He's going to lead this lap. Tim Blum, then it's Sean Butler, James Skelton, Max Terriot, Ryan O'Danny, all throw them under a blanket within 1 second here of the front. And now it's opened up to a 4-5 truck length gap now for Jeff Hollingsworth. Can he hang on to that truck here tonight? 16 more laps from Homestead.
As they come off the backstretch down in 3, Tim Blum starting to open a little bit of a gap on the 88.
Yeah, that damage, I think, on the 88 of Sean Butler is really starting to play havoc on that machine. The handling may just have gone away now on the Hardee's machine with the damage. It's not, the truck doesn't look like it's turning in the center of the corner quite the way it was before the damage. So as they go down into the corner, now Tim Blum still looks like he's starting to make his way back slowly but surely onto the back bumper of Hollingsworth. Right now, Hollingsworth has about a 2 truck length lead that time by 14 more laps here from Homestead.
And meanwhile, back here for the number 10 position, the 01 of Murdoch is trying to get by the 962 of Troutman as they come through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, so Murdoch going to take the 10th position. He needs to gather all the positions he can here tonight because 2 of his other chase compadres are kind of down the board a little bit, and himself being there isn't really safe where he runs either, with the likes of Tim Blum, Sean Butler, James Skelton, Max Terriot all up ahead of him, along with Brandon Minto. So pass for the lead down into turn 1. It was a quick one. Tim Blum threw way down there to the inside and took away the lead from Jeff Hollingsworth. Right now, well, Ken Hollingsworth start to make his way back to the front.
And the 88 of Sean Butler is right back up on the back bumper of Hollingsworth. And he's bringing James Skelton with him as he dives down to the inside, coming down the front stretch.
Sean Butler making an aggressive left-hand turn there off turn number 4. He'll go side by side with Jeff Hollingsworth down into 1. He'll slide up in front of the 999. Ken Hollingsworth slide back underneath. He tries to pull the crossover move. Does he have the momentum built up in the 999s? They'll go side by side down the backstretch into turn number 3. Still door-to-door racing. Who's going to have the advantage? Is it the Coast Guard 999s, or is it going to be the Hardee's 88 wound up to the outside? James Skelton right now, he's picking the inside lane as he's trying to push. As now he comes off 4. He jets back to the outside, trying to push now Sean Butler down the front stretch.
As they go into turn 1, here comes the 999 back up under the 88 of Butler as they come through 2 down to the backstretch.
Yeah, off turn 2 onto the backstretch they come. Tim Blum looking in the mirror. He's loving what he's seeing. Boys have at it. Yeah, that's what he's exactly saying. As now Sean Butler looks like he may have cleared the 999 down there into corner number 3. So now Hollingsworth going to battle with Skelton, and looks like Max Terriol, he's looking for a way around both these machines, just nowhere for him to go. Could the tires have been run off here by Jeff Hollingsworth in the late going?
Yeah, he might have used up his truck a little too early as he has been hounded by the 42. If they're on a little wiggle coming off a 2 for Hollingsworth.
Yeah, it's completely sideways just about for the 999 there of Jeff Hollingsworth. He held onto it. Max Terriol released off the back bumper of that machine, allowed him to gather it up. So we stay green flag racing. We're seeing 9 laps to go this time by, and Tim Blum still holding on to that half-second lead over Sean Butler. Everybody else single file out through the field. It's Tim Blum, Sean Butler, James Skelton, Jeff Hollingsworth, Max Terriol, Ryan O'Danny right there, all within 1 second of the leader. Still top 6 drivers. Brandon Minto, Ron Holyfield, then it's Mark Vaughn. Is somebody into the outside wall? I believe that was the 42 there of Max Terriol. Here comes Ryan O'Danny. He's going to take away the 5th position. Mark Vaughn back there in 9th, and Richard Murdoch still rounds out the top 10 drivers here tonight.
And as we come off of 4, the 86 is sucked right back up, and he's going to go for the pass. They come down the front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a wiggle, though, out of the Skelton machine, but he's going to throw way down there into turn number 1. He's around the 88 of Sean Butler. Now he's going to set his sights onto Tim Blum. Is there enough laps? 8 laps to go here for Miami. Does James Skelton have the tires left in that Toyota Tundra to catch the number 10 here of Tim Blum? Half a second gap is what it is right now, this time going into turn number 3. Sean Butler just kind of sitting back there. Jeff Hollingsworth, though, still sitting in your 4th spot, having a great run for the Coast Guard Toyota team.
And it looks like the 999 of Hollingsworth is trying to reel back in the 88 of Butler as they dive down into turn 1.
There you see the gap between all your leaders. Sean Butler down to the inside. Jeff Hollingsworth about a lane up from him as they roar down the backstretch. The lead is still sitting at a half second. It has not changed. James Skelton has not gained. Tim Blum has not pulled away here in the late going.
James Skelton is pulling away from the 88 of Butler. And here comes the 98 of Old Danny up on the back bumper of the Hollingsworth.
At the line, 6 more laps to go here from Miami. Tim Blum trying to do everything he can to just run away and hide. Does he still have the tires? We'll find out, because James Skelton that time by was a little bit quicker than Tim Blum out there on track.
Old Danny's looking to the inside of Hollingsworth as they come through 4.
Yeah, off turn 4, Ryan O'Danny right there just hanging to the back bumper on Jeff Hollingsworth. And Jeff Hollingsworth trying to just hang on to that 999 for a top 5 finish. Max Terriol, after scraping the outside wall, he has now fallen to bit just about 2 seconds back from the lead. I think he's still barely hanging on to the draft, but I think it might be a little too late for the driver of the 42 here tonight. Ron Holyfield, Brandon Minto, Mark Vaughn, they're back here. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Richard Murdoch sitting about a half second back there all by himself with the Tabasco 01 machine in 10th. Checking back out front. Actually, the lead shrank. Let's see at the line who had the quicker lap last time by. Just a little bit quicker for James Skelton, as now he's 0.4 of a second behind your leader.
James Skelton is starting to reel in the 10 of Blum. and pulling away from the guys behind him.
Down the backstretch they go. They got 4 to go. They're going to see 3 laps to go. 3 fingers in the air this time as Tim Blum is going to work his way off turn number 4. Sideways a little bit. The rear tire is kicking there for the number 10. And actually here comes James Skelton. He's closing in again. That lap still faster than the 10 of Tim Blum.
Really seems like the 86 of Skelton gets into the corner well, and that's really where he makes up his time on Tim Blum.
Yeah, it's a 2-horse race at this point. Now turn 2 is really starting to close. It's about 2.5 truck lengths back now from Tim Blum to James Skelton. Skelton going to really throw it down. They're going to close the gap to about a truck length. Truck length and a half. Is Tim Blum trying to save something here for the last lap? This time at the line, popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go here from Miami, and it's about a 0.2 of a second gap between Tim Blum and James Skelton.
And I think Skelton almost caught the wall coming off of 4, but he saved it. I have no idea how. We are under caution.
Caution flag waving here in the late going, and oh boy, it looks like Jeff Hollingsworth has gone around. That's going to throw a monkey wrench into everything we were just talking about. We're going to have to throw her back here and see what happened to Jeff Hollingsworth. He was running in the 4th position right in front of Ryan O'Danny. What went awry here for Jeff Hollingsworth? The tires were getting old. We know they were slick. Let's see as here comes Ryan O'Danny to the inside on Jeff Hollingsworth. Do they make any a little contact there from the bumper of Ryan O'Danny there to Jeff Hollingsworth, and Hollingsworth went for a little bit of a slide, but actually didn't even completely go around in the 999s. So just a little bit of contact being made, but I think this one's going to end up finishing here under caution. I don't think we have any green-white checkers here tonight from Miami. So Tim Blum coming around turns 3 and 4. It does say the final lap. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that. We do know sometimes here with our overlay program, it doesn't tell us all the facts right away. So it'll be Tim Blum, James Skelton, Sean Butler, Ryan O'Danny, Max Terrion, as that is the checkered flag waving here tonight. So that's how we're going to end things under yellow flag. Tim Blum being in the right spot at the right time here. But like we were saying, Tim Blum, James Skelton, Sean Butler, Ryan O'Danny, Max Terriot, Ron Holyfield does settle for a 6th place finish. Brandon Minto in 7th. Jeff Hollingsworth now falling through our order here, so we're actually get clarification where he does wind up. But Mark Vaughn in 9th, Richard Murdoch in 10th, Tony Strano in 11th, Ethan Troutman 12th, Joshua Buckley rallies for a 13th spot finish, Eric Johnson disappointing 14th place, Patrick Orr sitting there 15th, Robert Dudley now in 16th, David Camara 17th, Christopher Rothrock 18th, Joe Strano 19th, Kyle Souza 20th, and rounding out the field here tonight going to be the 909 of Jesse Baker. So Tim Blum, though, gonna pull off the win here in the first round of the playoffs, so he'll secure his spot in the Final Four. He won't have to worry in 2 weeks when we head to Bristol. So find your favorite driver and where they finished at the top of the ticker. We'll be right back to bring you the post-race interviews here from Homestead. Well, welcome back here to Miami for the post-race show for the Red Light Scrambler Series. Round 3 of the playoffs started here tonight. The man who parked her in victory lane is Tim Blum. We'll get to him in just a second. James Skelton, though, coming home second with Sean Butler coming home third. I did catch up here quick with the driver of the 88 is Sean Butler. Sean, you led the most laps out there tonight, but it looks like the truck may have had a little bit of damage at the end of that. Did that kind of cause a little bit of a speed out of there, knock a little speed out of the 88?
I don't think I had any damage. I just all night I struggled with being fast on the long run. Tim and James and Jeff were really good, and that last run I kind of just let those couple guys get in front of me, and I was hoping to save a little bit of right front, and it just couldn't do it. I don't know how Tim was so fast and not running up that right front. I don't know. I'll take a third place here, though, because like I said, this is not one of my favorite tracks. It's not one of my better tracks. You know, I finished up here in top 3, got some good points, got some bonus points. So going to Bristol here in a couple weeks, hopefully come out of there and go to the championship 4.
Yeah, you won quite a few races back-to-back, and remember last week when we talked what happened on the 4th attempt to win 4 in a row. You know, usually the statistics show that you don't have a good night, but tonight you kind of broke the streak and you come home third. Before we step away, though, who do you got to thank for your third-place finish?
Thank my teammates, James and Josh. I knew James was a little faster than me on that late run. I just let him have it. I really thought he was going to be able to run down Tim there, but it didn't work. But we practiced and that got me a little bit better. I think without that practice, I wouldn't have been up here in the top. So got to thank some friends watching, Becca and Skittles. Thanks for cheering me on and chat stuff. And see you guys in a couple weeks at Bristol, hopefully.
Well, there you heard it from the 88 is Sean Butler. He was happy with a third-place finish coming out here at Homestead. Not one of his favorite tracks, but a top 3 finish. You really can't be upset with that when it's chase time. And the only other 3 drivers that finished ahead of you are James Skelton and Tim Blum. And Jared, I believe you caught up with driver of the 86.
I am here with our second-place finisher, James Skelton. James just ran out of time there. Do you think you had something for the 10 of Blum?
I mean, honestly, probably not. Maybe if we had another 5 or 6 laps, because I was catching him, but passing him is a different beast. So I think that's my 3rd or 4th time getting second at Homestead. I've never won. This was a track that I really wanted to win, just because I don't have to deal with Bristol in the chase. But second place, it's good, but I really wanted to win.
Absolutely. Second place, not bad. Very good points day, which every point matters here in the chase. And so what are your thoughts going into Bristol next week?
Bristol's still, that's a statistically a good track for me. I just need long runs. I usually take it pretty easy in the early going on some stints. And then I know I'll be around if I just got to stay smart and just know that, I have the best points going into it other than Tim that's already going to the Final 4. I just have to be smart and don't do things silly, especially early on in the race. It's a long race.
Absolutely. Well, good luck going into Bristol. And before we let you go, who would you like to thank tonight?
Yeah, same as Sean. I want to thank my teammates. Yeah, we did some practice throughout the week. Definitely helped. Putting those few hours in, and then Josh also. He had a little bit of a rough outing, but I think he came back just a little bit. But like I said, my teammates, and then you guys for putting this broadcast on.
Well, it turned out to be a good night for the 86 truck here, and I believe Roger is caught up with our winner.
Yeah, I caught up here real quick with the driver of the number 10, Tim Blum. Tim, you parked her in victory lane. You lock yourself into the next round of the playoffs. Got to be feeling pretty good right about now.
Yeah, sure do. I felt like I had a good truck. I was worried about James there, and I was kind of losing it when that caution came out. I thought for sure we were doing a green-white checkered, and I thought I was going to be a sitting duck. But I guess thanks to Josh for fat fingering that one.
Well, fat fingers sometimes happen. I mean, we did it a couple times here tonight with, I believe, the sound. Some people might need some new speakers at some points of the race. But you parked her in Victory Lane. It's not the first time you've been in Victory Lane. You won all the way back at Watkins Glen. That's a long time ago, and even longer than, Watkins Glen. I can read, right? And also over at Phoenix, you won. How do those tracks even compare to coming here to this big 1.4 mile Miami track?
I don't know that they really do. Homestead's a pretty unique beast. I liked it. I think a lot of guys like it because you can race side by side. We did a lot of that. Even tried some 3 wide there. But Watkins Glen, you just have to hit every corner. And Phoenix, you just got to stay up front because it's so hard to pass. So all the tracks are a little unique. I guess I'm pretty proud that I can win on all different kinds.
Yeah, talking about all different kinds, though. 2 weeks from now, because we have off next Monday night, we're going to head over to Bristol Motor Speedway. You're locked into the chase. You're going to Charlotte for the final. But what's going to happen once we hit Bristol?
Well, I think Logano taught us all a few years ago that once you're locked in, you can play some defense. I don't have to win, but I could, I guess, race some other guys pretty hard and make it harder on them to get in. So, whatever it takes, I won't wreck anyone. It's not that aggressive, but it'll be interesting. I'll have the most unique strategy, I hope, out of everybody at Bristol.
Yeah, being able to play a little strategy at Bristol sometimes could be a good thing. But before we let you go, Tim, who do you got to thank on the 10 truck for tonight's victory here from Miami?
Oh, the same cast of characters. Turn 3, thanks to you guys. I know because of you guys, I got family watching at home. My dad, my sister, my niece, my buddy Will, my buddy Jason. And then thanks to the Full Throttle Racing Group, the flamethrowers, I guess we'll call ourselves, all with the flame paint schemes, Ryan, Brandon, and Richard there. So, yeah, just thanks to everyone.
Well, there you heard it from tonight's winner. He locks himself into the chase. He's going to go to Bristol in 2 weeks, and he doesn't really have to worry about himself. What he has to worry about is who else is going to join him in Charlotte in 3 weeks. Well, Jarrett, it was a good race here from Miami. We saw a lot of side-by-side racing. We even saw 4 wide racing off turn 3 at one point. What can these guys take away here from Homestead and carry over into Bristol?
Well, I think they're going to have to take some patience over to Bristol. Very, very tight, short track, but it should be some great racing when we get to Tennessee.
Yeah, the last great Coliseum going to be right here in 2 weeks. It's going to be the cutoff race. We're going to cut 4 out of the championship standings, and only 4 will advance for the championship. Drivers like right now Patrick Orr, Josh Buckley, looks like Richard Murdoch and Brandon Minto right now all find themselves on the outside looking in at Tim Blum, who has great, and he's locked in right now to the championship 4. James Skellin, who finished second here tonight, Sean Butler, and then Max Terrill, all those drivers above the cut line hoping to stay there. But you're going to find out in 2 weeks' time from the Bristol Motor Speedway right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. We do thank all of our fans for tuning in here to watch the Red Light Scrambler series here on a Monday night. Catch us in 2 weeks from Bristol to find out who makes the championship 4.